Previously on the Chaotic Neutral podcast, the Chaotic Neutral crew has jumped the rails again. Instead of investigating the mysterious happenings in the farmlands starboard of Bezos, the gang got caught up in a corpse smuggling scheme that led to a rift in the party and a massive explosion in the steel market. Join us once again as the DM and the party have to roll with their zany, possibly psychotic antics on this week's episode of the Chaotic Neutral podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Caleb, and I'm joined tonight by Amy.
Yo, I play TT.
And Shane.
Bert desperately wants to accomplish something today.
And finally, David.
Guy hopes to finish what he's been trying to finish. But it's not looking good.
No, it's not. Fireball in the sky.
I mean, was what you wanted to do? Was it blow up the down? Job done.
Like I actually intended.
I was just hoping for a puff of smoke.
Well,
Fucked up.
you got that.
There's smoke. There's also fire. A lot of fire. What's funny is when I gave you this task, this list of things, I really did expect it to be more of like a ongoing long-term side quest, not a shopping list you were gonna immediately go try to procure everything for.
Oh, laser-focused autism. That's what you got.
That's Kai's MO.
This is literally weaponized autism is what happened here.
So, smoke rises over the steel market. Kai gathers himself and the corpse of this poor deceased elf. As everyone turns to see what happens, there's that pause as people process before springing into action. Meanwhile, at Kiki's house, a similar pause is going on as they watch the smoke from the smoke and fumes of the explosion rise over the steel market down the hill from them. What do Bert and Kiki do?
That's got to be our boy. That can't be anything else.
Of course, it's our boy. But what do you want to do?
Let's go collect him before somebody else does.
I wouldn't really be bothered if somebody else.
Am I gonna have to do
I
this?
want to see the shit show.
All right. Well, at least you'll come. We'll get you there somewhere.
I'm always coming. That's where we're at.
Okay. In the steel market, after that pause of a couple seconds, all chaos breaks loose. Several shoppers start trying to run. Guards from other parts of the square start running towards the explosion to see what happened. And a few of the more surly stall keepers are pulling out their... it's Dwarvish for we reserve the right to refuse service, which is their giant fucking warhammers.
Does it just say, giant fucking warhammers with the words "fuck off" etched into the sign?
Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but there was some D&D game where in the tavern, behind the tavern keeper was this giant just maul that clearly the barkeep knew how to use. And one of the players goes, "Oh, that's Dwarvish for we reserve the right to refuse service."
I don't think I heard that. It's good though. See, Caleb, if you didn't explain that, I would have thought you made that up.
Yeah, if I'm gonna plagiarize, I feel it's the historian in me. I have to cite my sources.
Well, good for you. A lot of people don't. I don't take. I take credit for all the shit I steal. So one of us should be honest.
So Kai, you have one round until shit is gonna get crazy. What do you do?
I act like I'm pulling him away from the blast.
Okay, roll me a deception or performance, depending on which you prefer.
Let's try
Oh, Lord.
performance this time.
It's so smoky. I can't believe that happened. Was it a sewer main?
Oh,
Oh, God,
Oh.
dude.
oh my.
Is that the second modified one I've seen?
Yes, yes.
Folks, that's a 2. He's got a -1.
Um, so describe your performance as you envision it.
Like, there's a body! I grab him by the pants and his pants fall.
We'll leave that detail in. But there's a body is more like a bad community theater. Oh, there
He's
is
got
a
enough.
body. Where did this come from? I shall pull him to safety. And, uh, the two guards running towards the explosion immediately zero in on you. And you can see several more coming your way, as well as some citizen volunteers. Meanwhile, but the citizen volunteers are kind of having to struggle against the crowd as nobles passing along the path of glory and people heading towards the down Hammer Road towards the farm market and the lake are all just trying to get the fuck away from this apparent, from this explosion in the heart of the city. So it's going to take the volunteer assistance a little bit to catch up, but the guards are able to sort of bowl through with their official appearance. And they come up and one of them says, "What exactly are you doing?"
I think he got hit by a blast.
"Well, it looks like he was stabbed in the heart to me."
Shrapnel?
Who the fuck is shrapnel?
You're saying that he caught a piece of shrapnel through the heart, immediately expired, and the shrapnel just evaporated.
Yes. I'm not.
The other one sort of touches the corpse and says, "He's stone cold. He's been dead for hours. I don't think he was killed in the explosion at all." "Oh, you take us for fools, sir."
Yes.
"Oh, now you're going to get it. Roll initiative, please."
14.
So, Kai at 14. One. 15. 2 at 9.
How many guards are there?
Right now there are 2. So, the first one decides to club you over the head with his mace. He rolls a nat 20. So, so 23 points of damage as he just right up the side of the head. Um, and he says, "If you come quietly, that's the last of that you'll have to get from us." And it's your turn.
I pick up the body and run up the nearest wall.
Okay, they're both going to take opportunity attacks at you. One rolls a 24 and the other rolls a 9.
24 hits.
Okay. That's going to be 10 points of bludgeoning damage. Give me a strength check.
Okay. Got to be serious. 9.
You are having trouble getting up the wall with the body slung over your shoulder. So, guard
How far
2,
do I get?
you get to the wall. So, like you're already sort of towards the edge of the market. So I'll say you're about 30 feet away from them at the base of a wall, but you're not able to get up the wall at all.
Okay.
You haven't had to do this carrying a body before, and it's a little more complicated than you expected.
Okay.
The second guard takes a horn and blows 3 blasts on it that echo throughout the streets. Bert and Kiki, on their way down the path of glory, can hear this.
Oh, yeah, it's him.
So, are we going in to see? Are we playing it cool? What's your plan there?
You know what? Let's just go and. Oh fuck.
I mean,
We
I'm all
we
about
got.
guns blazing, but
You know what? Let's guns blazing.
oh, jeez.
Let's hit it. Goose, you're on my 6.
Sorry, I'm looking at some spells in Xanathars here.
I bought a house.
We'll still get it. We'll still stay there. It's
Really?
fine. We take
You
these
tried to
guys out. We blow the
If he's the one who
everything's.
tried to blow up the city, they're not gonna want us here.
Well, I mean,
You
if we.
ruined it for everybody. Okay.
It was a small chunk.
Of an entire city.
It wasn't that big. I mean, it was only like a block wide. Couldn't have been more than
Wasn't it
10 people in it.
residential?
No, it's in the steel market. It's fine. It's industrial.
Oh, good. Everybody's gonna be out of business.
Merchant business district.
Mm,
These are shops.
oh.
They're fine, right? He stimulated the economy by creating chaos, and now everybody has to hire builders. He did good for the city. Really.
Don't think you know how that works.
I don't think I do
Kai-
either, but I'm sticking with it.
Kai, roll me a dexterity save with disadvantage.
You really want to run in there guns blazing if he did all this?
I mean, he's our buddy.
I mean,
Yay,
I
come on.
guess.
Actually, you know what? Let's look.
17.
Let's get up to the square, see if we could see him from the corner.
Okay.
If he's doing all right, then we don't need to go in there guns a-blazing. Deal?
So all of the things around you, including the corpse you're carrying, are outlined in a very bright, fluorescent, violet light. But you are not. You managed to sort of dodge out of the way of the effect. So yeah. he like pulled out a little baton or something that he had on his waist and sort of aimed it at you, and everything around you turned purple, including the corpse. Um, three of the volunteers managed to break through the crowd. Okay. They'll go on next round. The first guard will put away his mace and pull out a hand crossbow and aim it at you. He doesn't have advantage because you succeeded on the fairy fire throw. And he's probably going to miss with a 12, right?
Yes.
All right.
Hold on. Where is it?
I mean, you should have at minimum like a 14 or 15.
Where is it? Don't see it. I catch the arrow and throw it back to him.
Attaboy.
Okay. I think you have to roll to reduce the hit.
Yeah, I think so. I don't have it open.
Let me. Deflect missiles. They have to hit you.
They have to hit me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I can't catch it out of the air.
So since he missed you, you can't use deflect missiles.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay. He also blows a blast on his horn. Kai, you're up.
Try getting up that wall again.
Okay, roll me a strength check.
Yes! Come on! Oh, 613.
You managed to get up to the top of the wall, but you drop the corpse to the ground.
I don't get a save.
That's what the strength check was for.
Okay, whatever.
I mean, when you feel that you're losing grip on the corpse, you can opt to drop down with it.
No,
Okay.
I'm just gonna run.
Okay, with a sickening thud, the corpse lands in the square, and you start tearing off across rooftops. Which direction do you run? Right now, you're in the sort of the north east corner of the steel market. So if you wanted to go west, you'd have to cross Hammer Road. Heading down from towards Farm Market, it gets going to be a little complicated because you're heading down the hill. Same with heading down Hill Street, but if you want to go across Hill Street, you'll have to navigate that as well.
I want to go stay in the steel market, but I want to disguise myself so I can go back for the body.
Okay, so you're going to run along the rooftops along the edge of the steel market and then try to disguise yourself?
Yeah,
Okay.
grabbing whatever I can.
Okay, so I guess roll me a stealth check to get into the market from the rooftops unnoticed. And I think you're gonna have disadvantage.
All right.
Nice.
So, should have been a double, but it's not.
Okay.
16.
All right. You think that you've been smooth enough that you sort of hop over to the other side of the building and drop down and sort of creep out towards a stall.
I act like I put another sign on the stall.
Okay. Roll. We'll just say for simplicity's sake that this stall is unoccupied. Yeah, you do that.
What do I notice
About what?
about the area where the
It's
dead body might be?
the two guards are standing over it, looking up the. Well, actually, uh, the guards have their backs to it and seem to be scanning the crowd, hand crossbows out, and as you're sort of peering around on your tiptoes, trying to get a better look, one of them plugs you in the chest with a crossbow quarrel. Because they rolled higher on their perception than you did on your stealth. They saw you the whole time.
Catch the arrow.
Let me roll damage
do
on
it.
it here.
Right, like that.
Okay, so you roll a d10 plus your dexterity to try to reduce the 15 damage.
I thought it was plus monk level.
Yeah, it's dex, monk level, and d10.
Okay, so 7 plus 5, 12, 11, 23.
Okay, you catch it.
So,
You catch it.
you use a key point and throw it back at him.
Okay, roll me an attack.
Oh. 15 hit.
It will not.
Oh.
But it just sort of it clings off of his armor. You see that they're wearing splint mail, and he yells out, "Hey, he can catch our crossbow bolts! Get the mages after him! Call in the mages!" And
You're fucked up now, David.
and actually, as a bonus action, he'll pull up his horn and blast a different sequence of notes. That again, I'll say, depending on how fast you guys are moving, Bert and Kiki, I'll say you're about 2 rounds out. More if you're moseying.
We're taking the scenic route.
All right.
We didn't fuck up this part of the city.
The Volun dwarfs move in. That's conjunction of volunteer and dwarves. One rolls a natural 20. and one rolls a 21.
What was the first one?
Natural 20.
Caleb, put those dice away.
You know, they never roll like this for me when I'm like playing as a player, as a character. So I gotta enjoy my 20s. I can't when I'm playing my rogue, I can't roll above a 10 on the die. So
Okay.
all right, so they are two-handing. Ooh. Um, so the one that critted on his extra damage actually rolled max damage. So that's gonna be 32 points of damage as his maul just crunches into you, cracking a few ribs. And the other one rolls 11 bludgeoning damage with his maul.
Okay, I'm down.
All right. The guards come over and stabilize you and bind you.
Shit.
Kiki and Bert come into Steel Market and see sort of a group of guards standing over Kai's supine form, and they have a cordon of guards around him, including one or two in robes that seem to be putting up these magical barriers, preventing anyone from passing inside or hearing anything being said in there.
Dude, no.
Yeah, these guys would be on my ken. I don't think I could do that. And I whisper a little sweet nothing. Sorry, Kai.
Do I scream?
You're unconscious, so you have bad dreams, and you might in your sleep twitch a little.
Grand mal seizure. I guess we're just gonna have to. Oh God, this is gonna turn into a jailbreak.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's fucking follow him. Let's.
All right.
Get the body. Get the body.
He did pay a.
Can I stealth? Can I, like, be out of sight?
Yeah. Roll me a sneak or a stealth or whatever it's called on 5th edition character sheets.
I rolled a 12, so 24.
Okay. Rogues, man. Yeah, you basically go invisible. So are you just sort of shadowing them?
I tell Shane to take care of Fozzie and do whatever he's gonna do, and then I'll just follow the body.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take him for walks and stuff. Is he gonna listen to me?
Give him fish.
Fish. All right.
Tell him he's a good boy.
He's the goodest boy. Oh, he's the goodest boy.
Don't put your hand that close.
Chomp.
Yeah. Just do that thing where like a kid tries to feed like a tiger through the fence. Just throw it limp-wristedly.
Kiki might be concerned with the body, right?
Yeah, why?
Well, I'm not going to narrate what happens to the body if Kai doesn't see it and Bert wouldn't think to look at it.
No, I want to keep tabs on the body.
Okay. There are a few clerics of wisdom who seem to be gathering it up to go give it a proper burial. So there's sort of a couple different groups beyond this magical barrier. There are the guards that are sort of resuscitating Kai and binding him and getting him to the point where he can walk back to the prison. And then there are clerics sort of getting a stretcher and putting the body on that, as well as checking the explosion site for wounded and for dead, like sort of the cleanup crew combination, Red Cross and CSI. And there are also some mages sort of they're just sort of seem to be standing there, wiggling their fingers and muttering to themselves. Bert can roll an Arcana if he wants to try to identify what they're doing.
Oh, I already know they're part of FEMA because they're not doing anything.
Is my robe healing me?
You are not at least 1 HP.
Okay.
Are we in the barrier or out of the barrier?
You're
Hold
outside
on.
of it.
Back.
And there's no way in it.
They seem to be blocking off the square. You might, if you take back alleys and come around it from, sort of over the rooftops, you might be able to get in. But it looks like they have all of the streets and alleys into that section of the market cordoned off.
Alright.
And business in the rest of the market seems to be sort of coming back to normal. The dwarves are regaling of how they took out the terrorists with their hammers and steel that they forged and was, it can only be found at their shop. And today only, because I'm in such a good mood, I'll give you a 15% off. They're trying to wheedle a good deal out of their heroism.
All right, I got a 23 for Arcana.
They seem to be trying to figure out exactly what happened. Like, was it a spell? Was it, they're trying to identify the spell, and then was it cast by a wizard, or was it released from a magical item? Trying to if it was a magical item, they're trying to identify its nature. Just sort of trying to figure out exactly what went on.
I'm super curious myself. I don't know how the hell he did that. Because I'm pretty sure I don't remember his, buttload of potions.
That is another thing. It looks like there is a robed figure going through Kai's pack and sort of looking at everything he has.
Does he have all the
Yes.
collections? Oh, God.
Go ahead and smell that jar.
And so
Put your finger in it and taste it and find out what it is.
after they manage to resuscitate Kai, at which point he will start healing the 1d6 at the start of each turn. They will walk him up the path of glory under heavy escort in sort of this procession. Kiki, so what do you guys? What's everyone do?
If they're gonna escort him out, can I just stealth and follow him since the body's it's not happening?
Yeah. So, and you find it really easy to stealth because the Path of Glory is a busy avenue. It's sort of one of the main streets in town, so there's always traffic on it, always a crowd. So you're able to fit into the crowd, and these guys are sort of pushing everyone back, so the crowd is even more dense than usual, and you're able to slip and wriggle through.
How many pockets can I pickpocket and still keep up with?
I like how you're hustling still.
How many roads must a man walk down? We'll say all the pockets. God, how do I even want to do this? Give me one sleight of hand check.
$17 on the die.
Okay.
Plus 13. That's a 3.
Goddamn 30.
13.
You could teach a master class in how to pick pockets. Every person you jostle, every person you rub up against, every person you even look at, it seems, you're able to deftly slip their purse, reach into their inner pockets, like
I just want money, no jewels, no
okay.
no jewelry.
Nothing that can trace back to
Just
you.
cash, yeah.
It's hard for you to discriminate. That will, if you're taking.
Well, I'm not going watches and necklaces.
You just coin purses. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say that over the span of your walk from the Path of Glory down and then up Imperator's Lane to the entrance of the Imperial Palace. You managed to lift 67 purses.
Oh my god.
Each of them contains.
It's like ballet to me, dude.
Um, let's see, so 67. Each of them contains about 60 gold. So
Holy
you
shit.
end your crime spree lifting 4,000 gold.
Dude, she needs it because we are expensive children.
This is how your operations are financed.
Yeah, all I can think is,
Kiki
God,
puts in,
how much is it gonna cost to rebuild their fucking market?
Kiki puts on some magical earrings, and the Blue Danube starts playing, and she starts just dun 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 dun. Yeah, and when it reaches the climax, she's like picking 3 or 4 pockets at once. Um, so Bert heads back to the house with Fozzie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You sort of head into the back where Fozzie has his little nest den thing. I imagine that when Kiki picked the house out, she picked out something that had like a hen house or something that they then converted into like a Fozzie hutch. And then in that hutch, he's gathered a bunch of things to make a nest. So it's a combination of a bear's den and a nest. And
Dead corpses, around.
Dead corpses.
Not people, but
and you
things he's found on his own.
when you head into the back, he's gnawing on the bones of some small animal. And he looks up at you and he goes, "Woo!" Sorry, Fozzie's sick apparently. Woo! Woo! I don't know. What noise does an owl bear make?
Sounds right.
And kind of looks at you with a look that you can almost interpret as curiosity.
Well, Kiki, Mama's away for right now. She'll be back soon. I see you found breakfast. You still hungry?
You
I'm gonna
having
leave you
no
alone.
idea.
I'm making up this shit as I go.
You're the uncle who has no fucking clue how to babysit.
So I go inside and I look for a leash. Where the hell did Kiki put her leash?
There's a rack of leashes on the wall. Many of them appear to be worth several hundred gold. I'm
Ooh.
sorry, Amy, I'm just sort of spitballing here. But
We've got his going out
Yeah.
leash.
The
We've
going
got
out.
Park leash. We've
there's
got
like a
his
leather one with metal rivets in it, little spikes. There's like a pink one with diamonds encrusted in it.
I'll take the pink one. I'll take the Paris Hilton leash. And I'll walk out with it and I'll jangle it. It's like, you want to walk? You want to go for a walk, buddy?
Give me an animal handling.
Oh gosh.
Boy, this will be
God.
good. What the hell is animal handling?
It's actually animal handling.
It's wisdom, I think.
Don't matter. That's a shit score. An even 10.
He sits still while you put the leash over him, and you have to kind of tug a couple times before he like ponderously gets himself up and kind of stretches and steps down out of the nest, and then he kind of headbutts you a little bit.
So I play back, I scratch behind what I think his ear is. Who's the goodest boy? Who's the goodest boy who wants to go for a walk? Yeah, you're probably right. So I start walking.
Okay.
Is it coming?
Yeah. And
All right, cool.
Have you ever walked a dog that's not yours? Like where your dog's sitting and you take a dog on a walk and the dog like tries to see how much it can get away with, like pulling on the leash and stopping, and he kind of does that.
Okay.
And since he's a 1.5 ton owl bear, and you're a spindly half elf who I think has not put points into strength, Fozzie walks himself. Fozzie walks you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, I guess we're taking this street.
You hit all of his favorite spots. You head down to the farm market, where he starts munching on some fresh lamb.
You brought the petty cash with you, right?
Well, I brought IOUs signed Kiki.
And at this point, the all of the shopkeepers, like Fozzie knows where to go, and so all of the shopkeepers kind of know him already, and so you can negotiate with them, and they'll draft a bill.
Oh, good. All right.
But yeah,
I'm sure they'll love to see that.
You hit the farm market, you head down to the fish market, and then you end up going up the God's Walk and down Imperator's Lane to where he traditionally goes to the bathroom, which is in front of the guard post. Which incidentally,
Are there...
is where Kai is led by his cordon of escorts. When they leave the steel market, heading up the path of glory, it's originally Kai and his escort, as well as the clerics and the dead and wounded from the steel market, including the corpse that he originally purchased. When Kai's escort turns right down Imperator's Lane towards the Imperial Palace, the clerics and the dead and wounded continue on towards the Temple of Wisdom. Kiki, do you follow them into the palace? Your stealth is high enough that you could if you wanted to.
Do I? Yeah. No.
All right. So Kai.
No, I know where he's going. I'm not gonna go in by myself.
Kai, the doors of the Imperial Palace close behind you. You are led off to the right to a fortress that overlooks the Imperial Harbor below, but you don't really get a good look at the view before you're led down below into the cells. And you are not put into a cell with other people. You are put into basically a hole in the rock that has a bucket in one corner and a tiny high window above to let in light and air. And it's about 10 feet on a side. Bert, I don't know. Kiki's hidden, so Kiki, you see Bert and Fozzie. This is probably about an hour later. Fozzie's leading Bert down Imperator's Lane towards the guard outpost. And the guards immediately start going, No, turn! Shoo! You beast!
I'm sorry, you got a mind of its own. I can't really do anything.
Do you have papers for that thing? You're not the one who usually walks him.
No, I was hired. I'm the walker.
Well, do you have proper papers for that animal?
I come up behind and chew him. Like, it's fine.
Are you sneaking behind me and putting something in my pocket, or are you
No. I'm like
talking?
guard.
Oh, okay.
I
All right.
come out of hiding.
What? Oh. Well, where were you hiding?
Oh, you didn't see her? She was
I
with me the
wasn't.
whole time.
You don't allow that animal to defecate in front of our guard post. I'm not
What?
paid enough to...
Stopping?
You own him. You have him clean... You use the bathroom at your house.
I'll clean it up.
It's in a bathroom at my house, dude.
Well, this isn't a bathroom either.
You tell him that.
Is there a sign
Looks
above
pretty-
our door that says Owlbear defecating location?
It's still wet, isn't it? You guys just put that up. I feel like as we're talking, he's pooping.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know, the dead piece of grass that he keeps pooping on.
I was just gonna burn it away with a bolt of energy. Well, I don't know. Vaporize.
That?
This is part of Kiki's ongoing feud with the City Watch.
Yeah.
It's like I just try to keep. This is your fucking morning.
Yeah, what do you think I do?
I don't know.
Where'd I go?
You are still a mystery to me.
That's cool. We should talk though about our other dumb friend.
We should. Did you see where he went?
He's inside.
Can we Does this place, does this allow visitors? Do they
Yeah,
have
is
like
there like
a
visiting
one
hours? Is
phone
there-
call?
What's the? I asked the guy as Fozzie's pooping. Like, are there
Well,
visiting hours?
for
Is
the
there something
Emperor,
to go in? Is it like a museum? What's the?
well, it depends. Do you want an audience with the Emperor?
No,
Well, then why do you want to enter the Imperial Palace?
isn't it like old? Can't we just like look at it like a museum?
You're
you know,
welcome
like...
to look at it every morning as you have your owlberry defecate on our
I know
grounds.
we do this every morning, and I just
Don't
kind of
you-
want to know what it looks like on the inside.
Yeah, don't you guys get tours like the Tower of London? All that stuff?
I don't know about any tower in London, but
It's in London, and it's this tower that they let people look at from the inside. Do you do that?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know where you're from. But we're not
Not-
accustomed to just letting random people wander around inside the Imperial Palace. That's why they built a wall around it, and why they put a
You know,
gate
you'd-
here for us to guard.
Is there just the one entrance?
Well, the one entrance that people are allowed to use, yes.
Alright. You don't get to use the main entrance though, do you? Because you're like the help.
Oof.
I am the
Right.
help. We're the City Watch, and we're very proud of what we do.
I'm sure you are.
We protect the Emperor.
Like from owlbear poop and stuff.
Well, from white terrorists like the one we caught at the steel market today.
Oh, what'd he do?
Oh, I think you know. Everyone on this side of town saw the explosion.
Big.
I'll say.
Jane, you want to help me out here with the talking?
Sidebar.
Alright, sidebar. What
What?
the fuck are we gonna do?
I don't know what they're gonna do. So what I'm thinking is, you sneak in there. You give me a floor plan, and then I pour it in and pour it out with them. If you give me an idea of where to go, there's a relative chance I could probably do it.
You
I don't.
We think we could like find a floor plan without me having to sneak in.
Well, yeah. I mean, can you
I
like?
mean, don't you
I
go to
don't
the
know.
library all the time?
Might be something in there, but since they have this place down, I'm like, yeah, I'll do some research.
I mean, I could probably sneak in, but then if I get stuck in,
Roll me a perception.
Yeah,
checks.
that's gonna be an
the
Actually-
two of us.
Both of you, perception or insight, whichever is higher.
Okay. For 24.
21.
You both realize at the same instant that the guard, you don't know how much he's managed to pick up, but he is doing his best to eavesdrop on your conversation without appearing to eavesdrop on your conversation.
I turn and look and go, we said sidebar. None of this is admissible in court.
Oh, you're familiar with the practices of our legal system, even though you don't
Clearly,
know the
you're
practices
not.
of the Imperial Court.
Has he done pooping on his lawn?
Fozzie's been done. Fozzie's now on the other side of the street, rolling in some poor noble's flower bed.
We'll be back at 1 o'clock for his afternoon poop. I don't know what time of day it is.
It's actually probably about 1 o'clock.
We'll be back at 5 o'clock for his evening poop.
He poos a lot.
And then again at 9 and 12.
9, 12. God.
Where do
Let's
you
go
live?
figure this out. Me?
I say to the guard.
Oh.
Why
live
do you
with
want to
you,
know
kid.
where I live? I don't trust you. You
I
don't
know
know
you
me
don't.
like that.
I don't want him to poop here anymore.
I don't want him to poop at my house. And so,
Bear's gotta poop
listeners,
somewhere.
this is a pattern that's been going on for a few days. And every day the guards try something new to keep Fozzie from pooping. So they've managed to keep him from pooping on their doorstep directly. But now he's taken to pooping in the grass. And Kiki and Fozzie can be assured that they're going to try to find a new way to keep him away.
Uh-huh.
Um,
How flammable is...
And I'm just wondering how long it's going to be until they try to arrest Kiki for leaving hazardous
For
waste
owl
lying around.
I was gonna say for legal bitchery.
For owl? You're gonna arrest me for owl poop?
Owl bear poop.
Uh-huh.
There's a difference in magnitude.
Yeah, there is.
But it's monster poo. It's got alchemical properties. You could probably sell it for a good amount of coin.
Or
Destruction
you
of
could,
public property.
what he said.
I'll leave you in that jail cell.
Yeah, just- as guy gets walked by in handcuffs.
That's what they're going to charge him with, among other
Yeah.
things.
Among other things.
Alright, well,
Elf can't get a fair shake in this city.
we need to figure out what to do.
If tonight you want to go maybe scout around the place, I don't know if you can get in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what I can find out in the library.
Okay.
See if they have like a city hall where they have floor plans and schematics of public buildings, even though this doesn't seem to be a public building anymore.
You know, like the map makers or wherever.
What do you mean
Yeah.
anymore? I don't think I ever implied that the Imperial Palace was a public
No.
building.
Slip of words, I guess.
Don't let Amy gaslight you into thinking that this was ever anything.
There were guided tours when we got here. God damn it! I remember the episode.
I'm pretty sure I was guided. No?
Uh,
Alright.
and if that doesn't work, then I'm just gonna have to dress up as a guard. Bullshit my.
I'm facing you. Alright. Let's do it.
All right. So, Bert, you head back to the Imperial Library.
Yep.
All right. Once again, you're shown into sort of your own study nook, just how you left it. And within a few minutes of you getting in, basically you go in and you're given a few minutes to get comfortable, sort of reacquaint yourself with whatever you were working on, and then Wounded Sparrow enters and says, "Ah, you are back. I did not see you yesterday. I was afraid that your research had reached a dead end and you had given up. What would you like to look into today?"
You know, today I would actually like to look into the history of this city. How did it start? I mean, is there like maybe like old drawings of the city plans, building schematics, things like that? I'm interested in the architecture. Seems like I've never seen a city like this before.
Bezos is very old. No one knows exactly how it was founded. It seems that for as long as people have been here, there has been a city at Bezos because of its importance as a port between the two great seas along the channel. It has a perpetual source of water, and it's defensible, and it seems like it's always been a natural place for settlement. As for specific architectural plans, it depends on what you're looking for in particular.
Oh, like the Temple of Wisdom, the Senate House, the Imperial Palace and grounds are incredibly intriguing. I wouldn't mind seeing how those are constructed and
Okay,
set up.
roll me a persuasion, because I feel like Bert's not lying. He's using the truth to accomplish what he wants.
Okay. That's not bad. 19.
Just so. It may take some time. Those are parts of the stacks that I'm not particularly familiar with. But it should not take me too long. If you wish to peruse material you already have, feel free, and I will bring you what I find.
Cool, thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, side project.
Of course.
Why not?
It is our pleasure to assist. And she discreetly exits through, the library door.
Bye, Mittens.
Her name is Wounded Sparrow. Kai, high or low?
Low.
Bert, a few minutes later, you feel a presence in the room with you, and you see one of Sultan Al-Amar's Dragonborn cohorts. Still doing research, I see.
Howdy, yes. Sure am.
Outstanding. Have you given any thought to perhaps helping Sultan Al-Amar in this city?
Oh, yeah, I'm very interested. He's a fantastic gentleman.
Outstanding. In that case, what he would like you to do is just actually what you and your group do best. He would just like you to create a distraction for the Emperor so that he may not be paying too much attention to what happens on the other side of the mountains. Perhaps, and I'm going to go and this is Caleb. I'm going to move you guys over to the regional map so you know what I'm talking about. Just pull his attention away from Dara. Maybe have him focus inward for a bit. That would be most helpful to the Sultan. Of course, you have a free hand to do what you need to do, but if he is pleased with your results, you will be richly rewarded.
Away from Dara. Here?
Yep.
So, okay. And I don't think we've been there yet, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's see what we can do.
And just as a reminder, the last you had heard, Sultan Al-Amr had set up headquarters in the city of Ctesiphon, down in the south.
Right.
Where he's being hailed as a savior, who protected the city from the Crystal Curse that had destroyed Karst and had already infected Minakar and was wreaking havoc there. Basically, he slaughtered anyone who showed signs of the curse. And now from what you've heard, he's ruling Ctesiphon as a benevolent dictator.
Is that right? Okay. But, I mean, his little charm spell on me is making me focus more on the benevolent part, the dictator part.
Yeah, you feel pretty good.
Okay.
You're sure that you know how shitty that curse was and how quickly it spread.
Oh yeah.
And that is one way to stop that curse from spreading.
I mean, really, I would have done the same thing if I had the means.
Okay. So he, after, imparting that message, he just sort of steps into some shadows and disappears. Um, a few minutes later, Wounded Sparrow comes back with these giant folios. You can barely see her around them.
Whoa.
And she sort of slams them down on a table, and she says, sorry, I'm going to move us back over to the map of Bezos. She says, I was able to find the original plans for the Senate House and the Temple of Wisdom. Both of them have remained pretty static since they were built, and subsequent clerks have not lodged any changes with the Imperial Library. I may have to suggest to the master of the library to update our surveys of them, just so that we have the records for posterity. The Imperial Palace, similarly, I only have floor plans for certain sections, and these are sort of the original foundations. The Imperial family is reluctant to give out any concrete details about their palace, its layout, or that of the barracks of the City Watch.
Yes, I understand.
Yes, I thought so as well. So feel free to peruse. I hope they help you with your research. And as always, ring the bell if you require any further assistance.
Thank you very much for your assistance. Wounded Sparrow.
As always, it has been a pleasure. And she exits. Okay.
So after that, I'm gonna have I'm gonna call my he's not a bird right now. He's a crab. That's what he was.
That's right.
So my crab familiar is going to listen. I need you to copy all of this shit out of the Imperial Palace. All these schematics. Anything there.
He gives you a look that it's hard to interpret crab, but you're pretty sure it's sort of a "you gotta be shitting me" look.
Hey,
And he kind of
I can put you.
he's
I
got
can put you back in the Feywild as soon.
he's got a
as
pin.
easy as I put you
He's
out.
got a pin and one pincer, and he's looking at the table and kind of like waving around like, "What the fuck do you want me to draw this on?"
Don't I have like a portfolio that I'm copying paper into?
These are big plans. Like, do you want them scaled down? These are like blueprint size things.
Okay.
I got the impression you had kind of a binder, almost.
Yeah,
A
binder. You
a
know what?
satchel.
I'm gonna have to go to the butcher shop and get like butcher paper or something. Damn it.
Okay, and we'll fast forward through that.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Because we're coming up on an hour here. So you spend the day. Your familiar is able to copy everything down exactly. Are you just having him copy down? Because she brought out these massive tomes that have just very detailed plans, multiple floors. Are you copying the whole things, or?
I'm going through and copying anything pertinent I'm doing the research and then I'm handing it off to the crab, the familiar.
Okay. So you're
For
more or less
copies.
ignoring the Senate House and the Temple of Wisdom.
Kind of. Unless there is something like maybe a tunnel from one to the other that I'm seeing like a like maybe just an unmarked sewer grate or something like that leads from one to the other.
Roll me an investigation.
Let's see, investigation.
And are you a sage background?
Yeah.
I'll give you advantage on this one.
Okay. So that or how about 13?
So it takes you a while. It takes you a few hours. You're pouring through, and you see in the Temple of Wisdom sort of in the central temple, because it's got grounds around it too. Um, Within the central temple, there's a place marked Imperial Processional Entrance, but it doesn't come out of the temple like into the grounds. So like when you're looking at the exterior plan of the temple itself, there's no Imperial Processional Entrance. But when you're looking at the interior, there's an Imperial Processional Entrance.
Interesting.
And so you
Okay.
think that might indicate an exit to a route that leads from the Imperial Palace and grounds into the Temple of Wisdom.
Excellent. It's a place to start.
And then with it, the Imperial Palace itself, it looks like has several distinct buildings, at least in the the ancient original foundations that you have plans for. The palace itself sort of takes up the um, south and eastern third, and then there's sort of open grounds in the center. The western third is the barracks, and the sort of the main route goes in a tunnel underneath the barracks, and the prisons are built underground below the barracks. And then there are sort of several outbuildings. It looks like a little shrine along near the northern wall, and then gardens sort of in the south center part of the Imperial Palace.
This oh, good start here. Coming to get you, Kai. We're coming to get you.
Okay, so before we call this episode, we'll say that Bert gets his copies made, heads back to the house, meets up with Kiki.
Making copies.
Does Kiki do anything else that day of note?
That day, no. I just need to take Fozzie back home.
Okay. Fozzie's all tuckered out and naps the rest of the afternoon. And you think he's packed on a few extra? He's got a bit of a food baby.
Oh yeah, before I forget, when I get home, I have bills.
So let's hear you guys formulate a initial plan for how you're going to get to Kai.
Temple of Wisdom. That's open to the public, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna go in there. Probably as just a Temple of Wisdom is more religious house, right?
Yes.
Is that so? If I dressed in robes, nobody would really bat an eye.
Not really.
Yeah. So that's probably what I'd do. Just monk robes, cover up, try to look like the rest of them, and then slip away, and then try to find this temple procession tunnel. Work my way down, just to scout it out,
Okay.
So there'd probably be some shitty stealth rolls in there. The idea was to either have myself do that just by blending in, or have Kiki go in there and, just work
You
the
want it-
shadows.
Do you need it scouted out? Just.
I need it scouted out just so we have like the beginnings of a plan. If there is a temple there, or if there is a tunnel there leading into the Temple Palace guards grounds, that'd be a decent way in instead of Yeah. Either
That's
way.
the plan, Caleb.
Okay.
Okay. When do you plan
And then
to do the scouting?
At night.
Okay.
I'm punching the wall till my hands bleed.
You're gonna pull a Doomfist?
Hmm.
For those of you that don't follow Overwatch, when they introduce the character of Doomfist, he basically punches his way out of his jail cell by doing that very thing. He just punched it over and over for years. So what was Bert gonna do?
Probably go in with Kiki, just with
I'd say
but not like together. I
You're
would
gonna
like
go
to.
in too, but not together.
I would like to see it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we have time for this. So, when you get to the Temple of Wisdom, It is surrounded by a high wall, um, and the temple itself is sort of this. It's got a squarish foundation um, that has a massive dome in the center and four smaller domes on the corner. Um, and from the corners extend out these arms that have minarets that come up out of them. When you head in through the main gate in the wall, which is set into the south, facing opposite the Imperial Palace, um, it's designed so that you're just sort of overwhelmed by the sheer enormity and grandeur of this temple. The domes are capped in gold and silver. Um, the glass in the windows seems to be made of some. It's not just stained glass. It seems to be like precious gems. Um, the doors dwarf you um, by orders of magnitude. Um, are you trying to blend in as a monk, Shane or Bert?
Yes.
Okay, roll me a deception or a performance, whichever's higher.
How about? Oh yeah, deception's best. That is best. Ooh yeah, fucking 20.
Okay, and Kiki, roll me a stealth.
Boy,
Rolled a 2 on the die, but it's
don't you,
15.
15.
don't you get a 10 for shits and giggles?
I never roll. Well, it says never roll less than 10, but
Yeah, so once rogues hit a certain level on skills they're proficient with, I think it's dex-based skills that they're proficient with.
Yeah.
If they roll less than a 10, you treat it as a 10.
it's just a 10. Okay, so it's a 20 or a 20. Uh, yeah, 23.
Okay. So Kiki goes invisible as Bert sort of blends in as a monk or as a parishioner. Um, and the interior of the temple is just sort of this massive open space that is divided by screens and low railings into various ceremonial locations and various audience locations. So you have a section there where the riffraff would go, that's sort of standing room only. There's sort of a stairway leading up to a balcony where nobility might sit, um, and in the center is sort of on this dais, this altar, um, and off to one side you see um, sort of a raised gallery um, that has just very ornate seats um, that looks like the sort of place an emperor would hang out. And you can't see any immediate way up to that gallery. It's about 10 feet off of the floor of the temple.
Mm.
I picture Kiki hiding in Bert's robe, facing butt.
Face and butt.
Sorry, Kiki. I just
So my
just makes Bert look like he's got a nice round.
And so you guys are in there pretty late. So right now there are a few clerics are just going around cleaning the statuary, making sure the candles are still lit. There are a few parishioners sort of praying on their own. It looks like there's not. You're in between the evening and the midnight services.
Okay. Is anybody paying attention to like what other people are doing?
It doesn't
Like, are they
seem
just-
like it. No.
Okay. So I'm gonna go make like I'm praying at one of so where do I see like a walkway or an entrance out of the main hall to maybe like an underground or like like a second level below where we are right now?
Off to the so it's sort of laid out like a cross. So off in the Oh, there's a fucking term for this. I should know it as a fucking medieval scholar. And all I can keep thinking is the fucking nave, which is the main axis. Off in the wings, off to the left and right of the altar from where you enter, and also directly opposite you, there do appear to be doors set in the walls that are smaller than the grand entrance you came in through.
Okay. I want to kind of make my way over there.
Okay. Kiki, what are you doing?
Around.
You kind of cut out there. What?
Just sneaking around, getting a layout of the place.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I gave you. So there does seem to be a cleric sort of standing guard in front of all of the doors that I mentioned, Shane.
Yeah. Okay.
And as you approach, do you actually
No.
approach before I?
If I see someone like standing guard, what I'm gonna do is Is there like a dais anywhere near it? Maybe a something to like kneel at and pray at.
Not in this section. Well,
Oh, okay.
there are, but they're roll me a religion check.
Where is it? Okay, there we go. 14.
You get the sense that, like I said, this is laid out as a cross. The southern arm of the cross, the southern leg of the cross where you entered, seems to be the section that's designated for members of the public to pray at and to use and to be parishioners in. Sort of at the corner where the east wing of the cross comes out is that raised gallery where the imperial seat is. Below that is the wing where you're standing, and these seem to be pews and benches and railings designed for initiates to this religion. And then the northern part seems to be devoted to the priesthood and the people actually performing the services and the rites and the rituals. And then the western one seems to be devoted to like the choir.
Okay. And this is facing.
You're in the eastern part, the part
Okay.
for the part for initiates into the clerics of the temple, essentially, that aren't participating in whatever ritual is going on.
I don't want to make a fucking. Because that's just gonna fuck everything up. So I need to scout out. I need to maybe put myself in a position where I can still see the guard or the person standing there, but look like I'm there for a legitimate reason.
And you could do that by going to like the front row of the public area.
Okay,
And you can just kneel and mutter stuff.
I'm gonna do that. And then I wonder if this would. And then use my my mind rape to just like start whispering really subtle shit to him.
Okay, what specifically do you say?
Just shit like that.
Okay.
But I kind of want to make it directional, like it's coming from maybe his left or something.
Okay. It takes you a little while, and he kind of shakes his head a little bit and seems to like steal his resolve. But finally, he kind of breaks and he heads up to the front row of that section and kneels and like immediately fervently starts reciting some mantra or some litany that you don't recognize, and he seems to be fully absorbed in that.
Okay. So then I finish my prayer and I get up and I make my way to the back, but I'm gonna work my way like to the side and then up the up the wall to that door
Okay.
and try not to be noticed.
All right. Roll me.
Blend in as much as I can.
Roll me a deception. Since
All right.
you're posing as a parishioner who's there is legit.
Cool. 20.
All right. No one seems to take notice of you.
Whew. All right. Can I go through it?
Yeah. Do you try?
Yes.
All right. You open the door and you find yourself in a what almost looks like a waiting room. There are corridors leading off in either direction and a door straight in front of you. Before we come back to that, though, Kiki, are you just hanging out? Are you there?
Kiki. Did she go to the bathroom?
Oh, no. Maybe she passed out. She's muted. So maybe she did.
Hmm. Well.
She's not in Overwatch or anything. Okay.
Is
I take a nap in the corner.
You guys are really frustrating me.
I could use your help.
Sure, I help. Anything.
Did you tell her about how you think the Imperial party would have its own entrance?
Yeah, we went over the plans. This is what we need to do. We need to work down there. I need you to sneak in. I'm going to try to like get in myself, looking like one of the parishioners.
So I don't know if I described this adequately, but there's a raised gallery that it looks like that's where the Emperor hangs out when he's here.
Right.
That you don't see any way to get to from the temple itself. And that's where on your plans the Imperial processional entrance was.
Okay, so it was raised. Got brain fry. Let's see.
So I kind of expected Kiki to just try to climb up there.
Oh, that's cute that you think I'm paying attention.
You're the only rogue this party has.
I know, and I'm so like, let him rot in jail. I don't care.
Let him rot you.
This is all visual, and I can't visualize any of it, and I just nope.
I'd offer to draw it, but you just make fun of my drawings and roll 20.
I mean,
We wouldn't make. Well, maybe we will. And not because it's bad, but that's just because, once we start playing this game, we're garbage people.
Well, let's try this here. Okay. So, freehand. Okay. Ah, shit. Ignore that.
Oh, zoom out.
Okay, so this is sort of the main layout of the temple.
Right.
The front doors are down here in the south. This section in the south is where public parishioners are. There's a sort of a raised balcony here where the imperial seat is like right here. This is where on your plans you saw an imperial processional entrance like right in here. This is the door that the dude was guarding. This is where the guy is praying now. This is the dais with the altar on top of it. Over here is an area that looks like it's, again, for more clerical stuff, but the acoustics and the accoutrement in there indicate like this is a musical function. Like this is where musicians would play, where the choir would sing, and there's a door here. And then up at the north seems to be reserved for the people actually carrying out the ritual, where they are when they're not at the altar, and their entrance is in the north.
Where do we think Kai is?
You think
I was. Go ahead.
Kai is in the Imperial Palace on the other side of the street that's to the south of this building.
Oh god, I'm still not paying attention.
Bert,
Why are we in the building?
Bert found plans that seem to indicate that there's a tunnel that connects the Temple of Wisdom to the Imperial Palace grounds, with an entrance right here in the raised gallery that I was talking about.
Yeah, that's right here. I was thinking it was underneath, and not the, because I think I missed. Sometimes you cut out, but I know it's still recording, so I don't say anything. And I think it's just my connection. So I think, since there's no visible way to get up there, I mean, I would have to I would need some kind of a small rogue-like creature to shimmy up the dark parts of this area, and then...
I don't see any other rogues here.
You have one fucking job!
And paying attention is not that job.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, roll me a acrobatics check.
Oh my
That's
god.
a nat one. I'm gonna retry that.
I forget, that's not bad for
That's an 18.
you. Add a girl.
That's a 28.
So she kind of creeps over and catches your eye, and does like a little like jump, like I can't reach, and then gives you a shit-eating grin and just parkours up there.
I roll my eyes.
So Kiki, you find yourself on this gallery with several seats overlooking. They're all oriented to face that central area, but there are also like tables on the back that look like they would contain refreshments. And in the center of the gallery, there's a spiral staircase leading down.
Down we go.
All right. So you head down to the bottom of the staircase spirals down for, you think you descend about 20, 25 feet, and you find a long tunnel going southward into darkness. And I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight. So, when we come back next time, Kai is in prison. Kiki has found a way into the... Well, Kiki and Bert have found a way into the Imperial grounds, but Kiki's actually looking at that way in right now. And hopefully, we'll have a jailbreak, and then eventually get back to the plot, such as it is.
We're gonna have to get Kai a bunch of plastic surgery after this, so they don't. You think what was his name? Cosmos? Can he do that? Carve up his face a little bit.
We have to look. We have
I
to
could
flee
do
another
that.
city.
I do that.
Okay. So thank you so much for listening. We know this one ran a little long. Hopefully it was entertaining. It was fun to play, even though not everyone pays attention when I talk.
Dude.
And
Dude.
The later we go, though.
Dude.
just think, I live with her, and she told me today that she just legitimately doesn't remember things I tell her anyways. So
True story. True story.
So, anyways, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you everyone else for listening. We are the Chaotic Neutral Podcast. You can find us at soundcloud.com/cndnd. We're also available on your podcast service of choice as the Chaotic Neutral Podcast. Just do a search for us, and we should be the first ones to come up. We're the ones that have like 125 episodes. Let's see. You can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/chaoticneutraldnd, where you can catch the VODs of this if you want to see the maps to which I'm referring. David, what's our Twitter?
We're at CNDDcast.
Yeah, CND cast. And right now, pretty much the only thing that I post on there is when we update. So we update kind of sporadically. So if you haven't subscribed to us and you just want to know when new episodes hit up, follow us on Twitter and you'll get those. Shane, we have Facebook, yeah?
Yeah, you can find us on facebook.com/cndnd whenever we upload new ones, which will hopefully, like Caleb said, will be more often.
Yeah. Lately, it's been my fault, and we're gonna get better.
Well, scheduling's a bitch.
Yeah. And then finally, Amy.
Chaotic Neutral D&D.
That's our
Instagram.
Thank you.
Follow it. Don't follow it. I don't care. Do whatever you want.
Live your life.
I don't care. How about I do what I want?
Note to self: cut things off at 9:30. We lose Amy after that.
We're
My
getting old.
bedtime is 8 o'clock.
Oh God, I wish I lived in that kind of fantasy land.
So is mine, but it's 1 a.m.
Man.
Yeah, I guess we shouldn't, bitch. I'm sorry, David.
Okay, so on that note, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. Until next time, keep it chaotic.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.